Known for his huge size, bald head, and freakish knockout power,
Right, he goes down.
Eric Scott Esch, nicknamed Butterbean, was also known for his ability to knock out arrogant opponents.
You go. There it is. Oh, that's a butt.
And that's one reason the fans always loved him. He became a nightmare to fighters who underestimated him.
In front of him to nail him a little bit, like Funmaker. But
Here are fighters who got taught to stay humble by Butterbean. Just like a killer bean doesn't like noise, Butterbean doesn't like fighters, especially ones who think they can last more than a minute.
any combinations from Butterbean, we saw him load up.
You'd think a bodybuilder would have the upper hand in a fight, right? Not even close. When Paul Springer, all muscles and confidence, made his pro boxing debut against Butterbean, it turned into a gym disaster. The fight barely lasted a minute before Butterbean unleashed chaos and turned Paul into a flexing punching bag.
In their debut, Paul Springer can probably get it, but can he take it?
Lifted Paul Springer off the canvas, and this one is stopped right away.
Again, trying to muscle on the inside, the right hand from Butterbean landed right on the chin, and that's the punch that did the damage.
Butterbean versus Jackie Beard, a fight that had more antics than a late-night bar brawl and twice the body mass.
And Jackie Beard coming right at Butterbean. He does want Tyson. He thinks, look, he feels that Tyson doesn't fight. He was doing a little hot dogging there.
Yeah, they're like pillows unless you get
Round fighters. This is the second round of 3. Smiling through this round. Looking to load up that time 4 rounds with McNeely. And still managed to get him out of there. Bean is a tough man. Right, because Bean just wants to punch it out. And Bean says, come on. Oh, big right hand. And that dropped it. And I mean dropped it. Bean's been waiting for that shot. And there was nothing sweet about that. That's it. He's still out.
Butterbean came out swinging like he hadn't eaten in 3 days. Every punch looked like it was aimed at a buffet table that tried to run away.
And despite all the jokes in the beginning, he's got Murray Sutherland.
Right hand gets
Butterbean, the nickname, and going all over the place.
In fact, he's landing anytime he feels like it. Oh, that time, Doug Norris got his head in his skull. Butterbean coming forward with some good shots.
And you're seeing some tough windmilling by Butterbean. He still has that.
First round, Norris clips him after the bell. And that's where he messed up. It's like smacking a bear that's already sniffing your picnic basket.
Butterbean Esch is a man who there's the, all right, we're heading it around.
And you see a reason why. He'll outbox him, but then he'll get popped.
They clashed heads, and that's what hurt Doug Norris. I was joking, but that was the problem. Well, it's wild now, folks, and there goes Doug Norris. It's over.
Winds up Eric Esch. He doesn't even like his own name mentioned. He said, I don't even like to think of myself as Eric Esch. He's his right hand there.
Butterbean versus Patrick Graham looked less like a boxing match and more like the neighborhood bully collecting his daily lunch tax. Quick, brutal, and completely one-sided.
Vaporized.
He's added a little left jab to his.
Gil Clancy said his footwork's getting better and responds in the last 30 seconds of the round. He's up to the 10-rounders. He might have to give up his big wrestling peg. Lean to the head of Graham. Graham's shown a pretty good ability to take these punches, but Graham seems to be losing just a tiny bit of his will.
But he uses jab. He can do a lot.
And Butterbean counters over the top of the jab.
Butterbean's fists were like overdue homework notices, and poor Patrick just kept getting sent to detention.
And he winks at George while you're talking to him, and then knocks Graham through the rope. And Jay Nady has seen enough. 1-2. Left hook to the top, right crushing to the body.
Butterbean stepping in against a taller opponent was just business as usual. Whitfield thought his height would save him, but to Butterbean, it only meant one thing: more real estate to flatten before lunch.
Well, Butterbean with 19 wins, 9. There's that wild swing, Tribal Nation. And Ed, you were talking about Butterbean trying to get that jab out. Patience by Butterbean. Now he rushes in. He sees an opportunity to face some better competition.
Yeah, he says his technique has been to wear people.
Butterbean now. Butterbean knows he's closing in. Whitfield, watch out. Hey, you want to be famous?
By the final round, Whitfield was tasting a combo platter of punches so hot they could have grilled a steak right there in the ring.
I called it. That's what I called. Exactly. Affair. And now Whitfield is helped up, and that is it.
What happens when a boxer thinks, yeah, I can handle MMA? You get Butterbean stepping into the cage with Thompson, a guy who looked like the final boss in a prison movie. The bell rang, and Butterbean wasted 0 seconds, turning it into a demolition derby.
Do you know? And I think that there you go. There it is. Oh, that's about it. I mean, that's about it. Butterbean has done it. Thompson's still looking for the takedown. I don't think he's quite aware. Out. And it clipped him on the nose. I don't think it actually caught him clean in any way.
Butterbean fights were never meant for overtime, but somehow Marcus Rode punched his time card for 2 whole rounds.
Not a bad amateur, a little bit of courage. He has power. He's got a lot of knockouts. A big strong. Rode not exactly a ballerina in there, though.
By the third, though, Butterbean decided overtime wasn't part of the deal.
Rhodes would move in there. There's no reason to move in. Right now, it's just a sideshow.
Big ripping shots by Butterbean. Trying to get up on his feet, and it is over. It was the body shots. He had hit him a couple good ones. And, you know, you were right, Scott. Why would Rhodes stand in front of the beam?
The bell rang, and Kenny Craven looked like he'd mistaken the ropes for a recliner, leaning on them like he was waiting for his ride home instead of a right hook. Unfortunately, Butterbean turned him into a human speed bag, hammering away while Craven stood there like a man conducting a painful science experiment.
The inevitable.
Eventually, the ref had seen enough of Craven's rope-hugging experiment and stepped in like a teacher catching a kid sleeping in class. Imagine getting dropped.
To nail him a little bit, like Funmaker.
And then deciding to stick your tongue out like it's part of the celebration. That's exactly what Talon did. 3 rounds in, Butterbean turned him into a floor decoration.
Kenny Keane fought him after having turned pro against Talon. Talon with some counterpunching of his own. Butterbean missing with the right hand, scoring with a left and a right as Talon comes in. Well, how many fights does he have? Well, Talon just got knocked, and Butterbean trying to add his 32nd knockout. And he sends Talon down here in round 2. He's being comfortably in control in this 4-round bout as he continues to pound the overmatched Talon. Tor Jones, the great defensive lineman from the Dallas Cowboys. Different psyche. It's a whole different sport. But the way Talon's getting pounded, he may think the opponent in front of him can nail him a little bit, like Funmaker.
And instead of standing up, Talon gave us his best oops face with his tongue out. Maybe it was muscle memory, or maybe the punches scrambled his Wi-Fi connection. Either way, Butterbean wins again. Butterbean didn't waste time with handshakes or small talk. He clocked in, threw 1 punch, and sent Phillips flying into the ropes like someone just yanked his power cord out of the wall.
And he's starting to get to a mistake, and then it's all over. But he needs to get off of those ropes. That's it. There was the doesn't know where he's at, and it is over.
To the waist, chin up in the air, and see ya. Big power. The Butterbean dropped the gauntlet.
Losing to Butterbean was basically a career milestone. A painful one, but still a milestone. Baker stepped in, looking hopeful, maybe thinking he'd survive a round or two.
The fans like to see. And he is all over his opponent, James Baker, and has him down in the first round. Baker, by the way, 1-5, has been knocked out in the first in his last 4 fights, and this one is over.
Brian Henry strutted in, thinking he could trade punches with Butterbean, like challenging a freight train to a game of chicken. He came out swinging, whiffed at thin air, and before he could blink, Butterbean sent him on a first-class trip to the floor.
Way down. Gets a good left from Butterbean, trying to stay up.
Wow, these guys are hitting hard. Oh, my goodness. Cheer them on. Right on. Oh, 2, 3. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's it. It's over.
One thunderous punch later, Henry's legs started doing the cha-cha like they were auditioning for Dancing with the Stars. When Peter McNeely faced Butterbean, it looked less like a boxing match and more like someone accidentally dropped a civilian into a demolition derby.
And certainly has had a long time where he was under drugs and heavy drugs. Let's go to this.
Butterbean goes right to it.
Fighter, he fights good 4-round fights.
It's lighter than Butterbean.
There's a little too much. Didn't dive or train on his life.
To the glove of McNeely. Oh, he missed with the right.
Butterbean clocked in like it was just another shift, handed out his signature knockout like a paycheck, and clocked out before McNeely even realized orientation had started.
McNeely's head back. Another uppercut. It's all Butterbean. McNeely ready to go. And that's it. Shane 80 steps in and stops the fight.
Another hook, another right hand, and McNeely offers up nothing. The referee just says that's enough.
That's what you call overwhelmed.
After flattening opponents all across the USA, Butterbean took his show on the road to Mexico. And let's just say, the fans got their money's worth.
Like Butterbean, though, I seldom add damn.
Here we go. Right at once again the beam. Oh, he's hurting now. Right to left.
Tim barely had time to adjust to the altitude before Butterbean made him take a knee, like he was proposing to the canvas. After snagging the IBA super heavyweight title, Butterbean stepped in with Ed White, a guy who actually looked like he might give him trouble.
Big right hand, and then a bit of a push with the left.
If you enjoyed watching these knockout moments, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, because part 2 of Butterbean's most brutal knockouts is coming soon.